Thank you for tuning in to the Life of KG podcast. We are all about helping you guys in the beauty industry. Whether you're starting out in this industry or been in the business for years, we want to motivate you, educate you, and support you to grow. Enjoy the show.
Hey everyone, welcome back to A Life of KG. So we've just hit November, and I know for many of you there's a little bit of a lull in business. This time of year is always the time where it does go a little bit quiet. So I just want you guys to not panic and just use this time to do everything that you don't normally get time to do. So planning, doing your marketing planner, doing lots of team meetings, do team trainings. There is so much you can do around this time and actually plan so this doesn't happen for next year. If any of you saw my Instagram post a few weeks ago, you would have seen how it really hit me hard years ago within business at this time of year. So that might give you a little bit of inspiration to just keep pushing through. And if any of you need any help, then just give me a shout. I'm more than happy to be able to guide you and help you through this quite a stage in business. So anyway, today I am super excited because I get to interview the lovely Hanna from London Lash. Hanna is actually my complete idol in the industry. She's someone I look up to. I've been watching her over the years grow into this big company, yet she's also always so bubbly and lively and just such a lovely person. We are going to go right back into Hanna's journey today and see how she set up London Lash and how much of a success it has become, and just hear generally her story of business. And Hanna has done lots of trainings around the whole world and spoken at lash conferences around the world. She judges most competitions as well within the industry. So more than likely every single person listening to this would know who we're talking about. So anyway, I'm going to crack on. I'm so excited. So without further ado, here is Hanna. Hanna, thanks so much for coming on the show.
Thank you, Katie, for inviting me.
You're very welcome. So can you just do a slight introduction on yourself and tell everyone who you are?
Hello, everyone. My name is Hanna, and I'm the Managing Director of London Lash Pro.
Amazing. So I would love to go right back, Hanna, and talk about your story, because I know you've got an amazing one, and what kind of made you get into lash extensions and then decide to start your own company.
Right. Okay. So as you probably can hear from my accent, I'm not originally from England. I'm from Belarus. I was born in Belarus, and there I spent all my childhood, and I went to university there. And when I was finishing uni, I've met the Lithuanian guy who lived in England. And we liked each other, and we've got married. So this is how I came to England initially. And because my English wasn't amazing, I learned English in university, but it still was difficult to communicate in English, especially in North, because I came to Bolton, to live in Bolton. So I couldn't find a good job. So my first job was working at the factory. And I didn't like it. Obviously, I found it very difficult mentally and physically, and I really wanted to learn English quickly because I wanted to find a better job, and ideally to maybe job in the bank, because this is what I learned. This is what I studied in Belarus. I've got a degree in economics and banking. Mm-hmm. So I had that thought to get a good job in England and probably work in bank. Right. And then, so because I couldn't get the free place and actually any place in those English courses in Bolton College, and I really badly wanted to learn English, I was thinking, what about other training courses? Maybe I can go and learn something different, but something which would give me some sort of other qualifications and also give me an opportunity to talk to English girls, and I could pick up English faster. And I came to in September or August in Bolton College, and I've opened this big magazine with the training courses. And the most interesting one, which piqued my attention, was the beauty therapy training course. And I thought, you know what, it's not probably the most kind of useful qualification, but it's something that I'm definitely going to enjoy doing. Because one of my passions before, I was doing makeup, and I was even doing some wedding makeups before.
Mm-hmm.
So I made a decision, and I went to study level 2 beauty therapy in Bolton College. And this is how I've got into the world of beauty. And while I was studying there, I realized that I love it so, so much. I actually enjoy it, enjoy talking to people. I enjoy making them feel good, making the women feel beautiful. And I actually thought that probably that's it. I don't want to go and get a bank job. I want to stay in the beauty therapy. And one of the training courses we did along with the beauty course with the Lash course. And it was long time ago, it was like 10 years ago. So the quality of the training wasn't amazing. We used very, very thick eyelashes. But even though that, you know, the quality of the training wasn't great, I could already, at that moment when I went to that training, I've realized the power of eyelash extensions and how eyelash extensions can make a woman feel and look beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things which made me actually very surprised and made me realize that one of our tutors, she came to work once before that Lash training. She came to work, and I was looking at her and I was thinking, wow, she's looking so beautiful today. And I looked at her cheeks. She doesn't have any blusher. She doesn't have any different bronzer. I look at her lips. She doesn't have any lipsticks. I look at her eyebrows. I can see she doesn't do anything with her eyebrows. And I was just looking at her all day long. And I didn't understand, why does she look so beautiful and what she's done to herself. And I came, and I was kind of shy to ask, but I thought, no, I need to. And I came at the end of this day, I came to her and I said, Sue, I'm really, really sorry. You're looking so wonderful today. And I don't understand why, because I was looking at you and I can't see any makeup on you. And she said, and she was laughing. She said, Hanna, I had my lashes done. And I was like, what? What's that? So this is, yes, when I understood how eyelashes could change the appearance of women dramatically, and how beautiful it is. So was probably the moment when I fell in love with eyelashes.
Oh, that's so cool.
Yes. And then after that, I just started to work once I finished my qualifications, started to work in the beauty salon and started to do eyelashes. So that was the journey, yeah.
And then, so obviously, while you were studying them, was you still working in the factory?
I was working at the factory for some time. Then I've upgraded to the restaurant, which was much better because I could speak to people and I could learn English.
Yeah.
So I think it was really valuable years for me as well.
How did you find learning English? Did you pick it up quite quickly?
Well, I think I'm good in. I'm not very good in languages. I'm good in science. I'm good in math.
Mm-hmm.
But when it comes to languages, I've never been good. So it took me probably a year to start speaking more or less okay English, and it's considering the fact that I learned English before. So I think it took me quite a while compared to other people who live in England. I think it took me quite a while.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so you've obviously gone from coming to this country, which is completely brand new. You've gone into the factory, then into restaurants. You're studying beauty. You found the love of lash extensions. What kind of made you then go from working in the beauty salon to then setting up your own business? Where was the transition in that?
Mm-hmm. I started working in the beauty salon. I was self-employed beauty therapist to start with. That I was working on the commission basis.
Mm-hmm.
And I really love working in that salon, but I don't know. I think I always felt that I want to do something for myself. I wanted to do something on my own. I wanted to be my own boss. And after working for maybe about 6 or 7 months in the beauty salon, I've left and I started to rent the room in another salon.
Okay.
And I started to build my clientele there. And yes, and from then I was fully self-employed and always my own. I've been always my own boss.
Okay, so I remember contacting you years and years. It must have been about 8 years ago, maybe. So maybe we're catching up with around this time now. And you used to sell Sky Glue and a few other products. Is this around that time?
No, actually, when I started to sell the products, it was a little bit later. So basically, when once I've moved on and started to work on my own, it was the time when I started to, like, I mean, my relationships with my husband became not the greatest, and we decided to get divorced. And I wanted to move out of Bolton and I wanted to move to London, because London for me seemed like a massive city with lots of opportunities where I could fulfill all my dreams. And so I just packed my bags and I came to London and I started again from scratch. So I rented a beauty room in the East London, and I was doing a lot of Groupon offers just to get the people in and being able to pay for my room.
Mm-hmm.
And it was tough. It was difficult, but luckily even through Groupon offers you could just get a lot of good customers. So I've managed to build a clientele fairly quickly in London. And then from the salon in East London, I've moved to work in Baker Street. From Baker Street I've moved to work to another salon next to Harrods. And with each move, I was raising my prices and getting a better clientele. And then in this time, I was also getting into my new relationships, and it was very serious. And we were thinking about having children. And I was thinking that it would be actually cool to have a little side income, but I didn't know what it could be. And also at the same time, some clients started to ask me to teach them how to do eyelash extensions. So that's something I started to kind of think about. And I've approached a few eyelash brands. I remember it was a beauty exhibition, and I was going from stand to stand speaking to the representative, and I was saying that I'm a really good lash technician. Do you want me to be a trainer? And unfortunately they all say, yeah, we're going to get you details and we might call you back, and nobody did. So
Oh, I bet they wish they did now.
I don't know. Yeah, so nobody got back to me. So I thought, okay, right, nobody wants me. Maybe I can start doing teaching myself. And I've just started to research it. I went through all the forums possible, reading about accreditations and about everything, about types of licenses you need and all those sort of things. And I've realized that it's difficult. It's a lot of paperwork, but it's possible, right, to get an accreditation and start teaching. So I've done my petals, wrote my manuals, and just started doing training courses. But straight away with starting doing the training courses, you realize that you need a product to give to your students, in the kit.
Yeah.
And that was the point when I thought, well, why wouldn't they just buy something from from the factory directly? And I've it was worrying, and I was doing a lot of research, trying to find out which companies are good, trying to do some testing. But I was satisfied with the quality of the Sky Glue and Sky Lashes, so I thought I'll give it a go. And I've borrowed $8,000 from my boyfriend to make a first order. It was really, really scary. Because you never know, isn't it, if it's going to be used quickly on the training courses. But I thought, even if I'm not busy with the training courses, I can always just use this product. So I've borrowed this money, placed my first order, and yes, the lashes arrived. But unfortunately, like, it was loads of lashes, right? Loads of lashes. They were all over the drawers in the living room, and I didn't do as many training courses. So my boyfriend, he said, "Look, Hanna, take all these lashes to your salon." And I said, "Well, I don't have a salon. I just have a tiny room. It's not a salon. I don't have space there either." And this is when it's clicked in my head that what if I go and try to sell them? And that could be this little side income I was thinking about, right? Getting pregnant and having this little side income. So I thought, okay, let's just try to throw them on eBay and see what's going to happen. And I've put them on eBay. I've done a little research about other people who are selling the eyelash equipment there, and I've tried to put the prices slightly lower than competitors, so I can at least get a chance to sell something. And yeah, it kind of worked. I didn't get many parcels, but maybe like 4 or 5 a day. And that was good. That was satisfying.
Do
And
you
then
not think that's amazing? You're going from like remembering 4 or 5 parcels and must have been really excited about them 4 or 5, and now you're sending like thousands.
yes, I know. It was cool. Yeah, it was cool, and it was difficult as well. At that time, I remember you're still working as a lash technician. You're doing trainings, you're doing parcels, you're doing customer service, but it was exciting. It was really exciting time, and also it's the time when you understand, oh, it works. Wow. That's the time you're thinking, wow, that okay. Let me try something else. And this is the time when I started my first brand. It called Lady Lash first.
I remember.
Yes, it was Lady Lash. Same as my salon called.
So how was you kind of like doing everything day to day? Because am I right saying that you used to pack the orders at night and then distribute them in the morning?
Yes, that's right. So doing lashes all day long, coming home. On the way home, I would be bouncing some messages with my clients. Coming home, cooking a dinner, having a dinner with my boyfriend, send him to sleep, and sit down and start working. Well, I was young, like I was at that time 23 or something years old. I didn't drink alcohol. I was full of energy, so I think I was good fit to do a lot of work. But yeah, after I finished my accreditation, or what I work in the computer admin work, I would start packing my parcels, finish at 2:00, go to bed, wake up in the morning at 7, straight to the post office to send the parcels away, and then back to lashing all day.
Wow.
So yeah.
So obviously, like, moving forward now, London Lash is obviously one of the biggest lash brands out there. Like, how long would you say it took to get this to this point? Because obviously you've got, I know there's stepping stones, but at this point you're distributing and doing your 4 parcels a night, and now you've gone from the biggest lash brand. Like, how long did it take to get to that point, and what do you think is the reason that the business becomes so successful?
Right, about how long does it take? I think it's about probably 2 years to get to the point when we became quite well known. And what was the main thing? I personally think it's the quality of the products, because we really trying hard to make sure that the quality is good. One of the things I've noticed when I started doing the retail business, that a lot of companies on the market are very commercially generated. They're not built, they're not created by lash technicians. They're just created by somebody who wanted to open the business in the beauty therapy field, right? So the people behind those brands, they don't have a deep knowledge about eyelash extensions. They don't know how frustrating it is to do the fun if you've got the tape which is too sticky or something else. They don't have an idea. And we did have a clue about it, and we worked very hard to make sure the quality is good. Amount of times I've been to the factories, it's unbelievable. We've set up very good systems at the factories. We have an independent quality controllers who are working for us, not for the factories, checking the quality of the products there. We're testing products a lot. We're going through, like, I don't know, like months of testing before we would send the glue to the market. So I think that is something which is was probably the first and the main thing, is the good product. And if you have a good lashes, then people will be buying it all the time. Why should you change, right? And I think the second thing is probably my passion about the job, and I think I'm quite a good leader. Don't want to say that, but I think I'm okay. I always could easily accumulate lots of people around me and give them inspiration to do something together. So I was always was good in that since school. And I think that's something which generally helps in building the business, the leadership skills.
Definitely. I mean, before we jumped onto this interview, I jumped onto your Instagram page and saw that you've just got a new warehouse.
Yes, we've got the new warehouse because the previous one was too small for us. But it's actually the second one. So basically, we've decided to spread the risks and make sure that part of the stock is being held in one place, another part is being held in another place. So in case if we have anything happens, a flood, fire, anything, hope it's not going to happen, we still have stock to sell, so the business is not going to start operating for a few months. So now we have to, yeah.
And are they both based in Manchester, or?
Yeah, they're both based in Bolton and West Holton.
So you ended up, after all them years, going back to Bolton in the end?
Yes, because I was thinking, when I was working at the factories, I could see so many hardworking people around me, and so many foreigners who would come there, Lithuanian, Polish people, who are working crazy hard. They don't have families, they don't have houses around, they have nothing, and they just they work really hard because it's super important for them to have this job. They cannot afford to lose it. So I thought, what, it is a great place to get the workers, to have a good quality workers. It's also relatively inexpensive to keep the warehouse in that location. And I also wanted to move away from London because I found it a bit too hectic. So I wanted to move back to normality and started to drive the car again, go to gym in the morning. So I wanted to get out of that busy lifestyle.
Yeah, sure. So obviously business is not easy, and we all have struggles, and I'm pretty sure we would have had quite a few. What would you say has been your biggest struggle in building the brand, and is there anything you would have changed or done differently?
I think when the business was small, there wasn't a major struggles, I would say. I would think that the most difficult probably part is now, because right now we're at that stage when you can't just run the business kind of with the knowledge you naturally have, with the intuition you naturally have. You need to set up the systems and the processes and the IT systems, HR, health and safety, and it's a lot of thinking involved, and it's a lot of specialist knowledge is being involved. So we need to recruit the professionals who are specializing in certain things, and they could help us to optimize the workflows. So right now I feel that I'm in that situation that I really need to learn a lot of things very fast. So I'm reading a lot of business books. I feel like I'm back to university and I need to get loads of information quickly in order to be able to understand the processes in my business and find the right people who can manage that processes, right?
Yeah.
So that is probably the difficult part. If about the question if I would want to change something or not, it's certainly not, because when we're looking back and we can see our mistakes that we've done, we've made years ago, every mistake, it's such a wonderful learning curve, and after one mistake we will always adapt our business to make sure that we don't make this mistake again. So I personally have a very positive look at the mistakes, and when mistakes are happening, I'm always saying, great, it's amazing that it's happened now, not in 2 years, not in 3 years. So I wouldn't change anything at all.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you on that. That's exactly what I say.
Yeah.
So obviously you're based you've got your main salon, you've got your salon in London and training in London, right? And then you've got your warehouses in Manchester, training in Manchester. How do you kind of manage locations day to day? Is it quite hard juggling everything?
Well, first of all, it's not that far away to get to London. It's 2 hours on the train, so I can go to London quite often, maybe once every 2 weeks, which is enough to meet the staff and just to see how things going. All the locations are managed by their own managers, so I don't really need to be involved there on the day-to-day with the day-to-day kind of working routine. And also my job is changed now. As before, I used to be a salon manager. Now I'm not a salon manager. Now I'm a manager of the company, and my job is to manage the strategy, to manage the systems and the processes, not as much as managing people, right? So I think I don't really need to be presented in the business as much as I needed to be before.
Do you find that quite a hard transition to go to? Because obviously as a business grows, you've got to grow, your job's got to change, etc. Like, and obviously it's a lot of learning. Like you said, it's like going back to university and you're studying all these books. Like, did you find it hard, the change in business and then your job role, or not seeing your staff as much and things like that?
I think it's really interesting, and I don't think it's hard. I think it's exciting. And also it gives other people in the business ability to grow. Like if I'm stepping back and start concentrating on other things, somebody's stepping forward. So I'm looking at my staff when they developing every year. It's like having kids, and you can see them growing and becoming better and becoming very independent, making those wonderful, mature decisions. And I'm just looking at all that, and it all makes me happy. So I don't think it's difficult. I think it's really, really exciting.
That's a really lovely way of looking at it. So did you find it hard to kind of separate business and pleasure? Because I know for myself, being in business, I do have quite a lot of free time and stuff now, but it took a while to get there. But sometimes I do find it hard separating business and pleasure. Do you have quite a good balance?
I think it's really important to understand what is like. For me, business is pleasure. Sometimes I much prefer to I don't know, to work on my marketing plan rather than watching a TV. Right, I'm getting more happiness out of that. So if it's your case, then you're just thinking, why not? Why should you make yourself watch TV? Well, you can do some fun. If this fun is work, then whatever makes you happy. But another thing I think which is really important to look at, talking about the balance, it's not just your pleasure, it's also other important aspects of your life, because all of us, we have families, we have kids, we have friends, we have parents, partner, and they're very, very important for us. So once we are getting ourselves occupied with one things, we might ruin other things. We might spoil the relationships with our relatives when we are spending too much time doing eyelashes. So I think it's critically important to understand what are those important areas in your life and how much do you want to spend on those important areas. How much time do you want to spend with your kids every week? How much time do you want to spend with your parents? If it's maybe half an hour call, that's fine. Put it in your calendar. How much time do you want to spend with your friends? Maybe you could just block 1 hour for each friend every week within the next 2 months. So once I think this is sorted, then you can just go to your pleasures and your work and then accommodate time for it. And I think that's the way to do it, because otherwise it's difficult to juggle between, one thing is pleasure, one thing is work, but another thing is your important things in your life, which needs to be kind of recorded into your calendar.
Definitely, it's just prioritizing, right, isn't it?
Yeah.
So because you get to well, everyone's been watching all your snaps and stuff. You went on holiday for a little while not so long ago, didn't you?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
We went to Bali. I took my parents. That was my time with my parents, because they live in Belarus and I don't see them at all once a year. So that was my quality time to take my parents away. Yeah.
That's so lovely. So did you find that when you was away, was you still working, or do you completely switch off?
I was actually reading a lot of books about managing the business and some stories of other CEOs, and I didn't find it. I don't know. It's
It's not
because it's such a pleasure for me. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
If I could choose what to read, I don't know, like a vampire book or a management book, I would definitely prefer management. It would make me happier. So I don't see the problem. I don't switch, but I'm still a happy person,
Yeah, I 100% get that, definitely. So what is kind of next for London Lash and yourself? Is there anything new coming up? Obviously you've got the new warehouse, like what's kind of the next steps?
I think the most exciting thing is that we've recently launched the eyebrow henna brand, which called So Henna. And we've been working on this project for a while. We've been tasting like loads of different products from the factories. And this is finally the product we fell in love with. And we tested it for a year. We've got a wonderful feedback. So now it's on the market. And right now, I think a lot of London Lash attention shifted towards So Henna brand, because it's super exciting. If you think about beauty industry in general, how many salons are doing eyelash extensions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not that many, but how many salons are doing eyebrows? Like all of them, right? So I think we're a little bit on the mission to promote this brand, this new brand, and make sure that if it's not presented in every beauty salon in England, but at least in half of them. So this is our next kind of short-term mission to introduce So Hanna to the beauty world.
How exciting! So is this completely your brand that you've produced?
Yep, it's completely ours. Yes, and it was a bit of I don't know even how we came to them. We just keep looking at all the brow industry that it's developing so quickly, and the brows is such a big trend. And I mean, it's such an important thing on the face, right?
Yeah.
Brows just changing your face already. So I did have this passion for brows for a long time. So I said to my girls, I said, I think we need to try. I think we need to try and go for it. And we've been to many, many training courses. My girls, not me. They were traveling all over Russia. They had so many different training courses and the eyebrows done. So yes, and we've done it. So now it's super exciting.
Congratulations, that's so good. So where can people get in touch with you, Hanna, and social media handles so people can come and follow you if they're not already?
Yep, they can follow me on Instagram. It's Hanna_London Lash. They can follow our London Lash page, visit London_Lash_pro. If they want to have a chat with us, they can call us. All our details on our websites. We've got wonderful, beautiful girls working in our customer service, Laura and Shelley, and they're amazing. They know everything about eyelashes, everything about the glue, everything about henna. So if you need any advice, even if you're just struggling with eyelashes and you need any advice, just give us a shout, give us a call, or you leave me a voice message and I will get back to you. We'll always be happy to help.
Oh, thank you so much for giving up your time this morning, Hanna. I really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Katie. Thank you so much for inviting.
We would love to hear what you thought about this episode.
I love the show, guys. You're awesome.
Please leave a review and share on social media tagging @KG Salon so we can share.
I always follow them.
Until next time, have an amazing, successful week.